We are fully in pandemic times, and I have been spending my days watching my friends teach me really cool stuff, like how to do makeup and clay and cross stitch and all kinds of cool stuff. And I wanted to try my hand at teaching my friends a skill that I had. And what that looks like is me starting off with a couple of tutorials on how to do fixed gear bike tricks, and here we go. Okay, so what a track stand isn't. It's not you standing perfectly still, although you might get to that point at some point. It's not going straight back and forth on your bicycle. To me, it's if you were to imagine doing a tight little, maybe 6-foot diameter circle on your bicycle, and in a forward way, taking the tiniest sliver of that circle and using that arc and staying stuck in there, like using little micro movements to stay on this tiny little arc. You're aiming your front wheel towards your right, and kind of going in the tiniest little beginnings of a circle and staying in that spot. Okay, so for track standing, you don't need a cool bike, you don't need a shiny bike, you don't even need a bike with all the bolts in there, but I would recommend having a strap, especially just one. If you just have one, I would just have it on the right. I hardly ever strap in with my left. And the key number one rule is don't put your butt out of the seat. You look kind of like a cat in heat when you do that, and you are making your center of gravity really high and affecting your stability. So the way I think of it is you have this good straight line of your cranks and your pedals, and I think of that like a seesaw. And so this is the big kid, this is the little kid, and you're gonna kind of try and have them be nice and even. However, the key with the track standing is that you can't stand perfectly still for too long, so you have to have these kind of like micro movements that shift you back and forth. Now, the tinier and more fine-tuned those movements are, the more pro you look, but at first you might be a little floppy with it, and that's okay. So typically my big kid foot, my right foot, is always going to be in front, and then it's going to be the small kid that keeps me fine-tuned there. So let me show you what that looks like. For purposes of this video, I'll refer to degrees of angles, and so this here, this straight flat, I would call that a 0 degree, and then if I move up here a little bit, that's maybe a 15 degree, and then as we go up, but I just wanted to make that clear because I will refer to them later. Okay, so to start out, you're gonna get on the bike and you're going to aim your handlebars towards your front big kid foot direction, which for most people I presume is the right foot. You're gonna aim your handlebars that way, and then you're gonna start with your front pedal up maybe at about 15 or 20 degrees so that you can have some momentum to start the arc. So you're going to pedal forward for just a bit, and then you're going to catch yourself with your back foot, and that's going to be kind of the arc that you rest in until you get really comfortable and can fine-tune it. Plus, having the ability to kind of rest comfortably and expand, the range of control that you have with these track stands is really going to set you up to do really cool tricks down the line. So that's part of the deal, part of the fun. Is getting this really nailed down, and then we can move on to like popping up your front wheel and maybe the beginnings of some backward circles and stuff. So while your butt won't be up out of the saddle, it might just kind of hover a little bit along the saddle. So you will see me kind of shift my movements a little bit, but towards the back, I'm always going to kind of go back to that home base of sitting my butt all the way down. So that's about all I know. I think that I will probably make a few more of these, and I hope that you enjoyed it and will try it, and will hit me up if you have any questions in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.